Today we will review yet another anonymous Gothic romance, the 1798 The Animated Skeleton. In France, during the reign of Hugo Capet, Dunisleda, the wife of the peasant Jacquemart, is late in coming home one night. When she does, she faints, awakes to tell her husband to flee, and faints again. Fainting is mostly the only thing she does. On the way to hide in a nearby convent with his neighbour Grodin, Conrad, a close confidant of the Duchess Brunhilde, attacks them, but Jacquemart kills him and they bury his body. At the convent, Dunisleda faints, accuses the Duke's servant of trying to kidnap her, and then dies. While consoling Jacquemart, Grodin quotes lengthy conversations that took place at the castle, forbidding him to ask how he knows this. It turns out an English knight, Sir Raymond, had arrived there the other day, along with a mysterious black knight calling himself Grimoald the Avenger, and hinting at a mysterious purpose. Grimoald then wishes to explore the closed, haunted wing of the castle, but Brunhilde refuses. Yet her husband, the Duke Albert, promises to go search with them in secret. The three then search the wing and find a skeleton lying in bed, which bids them leave, and then grabs Grimoald's hand when he would open the window. A disembodied voice tells them to sod off, then mocks them from the castle ramparts, before Grimoald winds up stuck in the swamp. Now to explain a bit of the confusing familial relations of Brunhilde. Brunhilde's mother, Lady Gunilde, had two sons, Count Richard and Count Hubert, but Richard was called a villain and is said to have run off in infamy, and Hubert took over his titles and name, and making it punishable by death to call Hubert Hubert and not Richard. Confused? Good, me too. Despite hiding in the convent and sticking Jacquemart's kids into a closet, Brunhilde's men find Grodin and co, and they are to be judged by Duke Albert for killing Conrad. On searching Grodin's son Edgar, they find a cross taken from the dead Conrad, but Sir Raymond suspects treachery, has all leave the room, and then wants Brunhilde to swear on the cross. She refuses, raves, and swings a dagger at him. So the Duke lets Raymond pronounce Jacquemart innocent and has his wife gagged and chained to a pillar. Albert then lets Grodin pass sentence on Albert's own wife, Grodin ordering her to spend a night in the haunted wing of the castle. However, the evidence against Edgar is disregarded really quickly and without much of a reason, so it's a really sudden upset. It feels a bit arbitrary for Raymond to just assume a conspiracy by Brunhilde when he has no proof of it, as she only acts guilty after Raymond already suspects her. Meanwhile, Count Richard is both planning the murder of Duke Albert and the seduction of his daughter Hildegard, Richard's own niece, with the full support of Brunhilde, who hates and wishes to abase her own daughter for being too pure. At night, as Albert, Raymond and Grimoald see ghosts again, Richard stabs Raymond with a poisoned dagger while trying to kill the Duke. He is bound, but then they found Hildegard had gone missing. They stick fake Richard in the haunted wing, and that night his skeleton appears in front of him, along with the real Count Richard, who gives Hubert the choice between a dagger and a cup of poison. Hubert is shocked to see Richard, whom he is sure he had killed, but we later find out he had already seen him earlier that day when pursuing Hildegard, as she says when she appears unharmed the next day after Richard saved her, which makes Hubert's surprise and terror a bit confusing, acting like he didn't know Richard was alive. Almost like the author did not know what happened earlier, due to the constant switching between writing in the present and switching to flashbacks. Then, after much confusion, Brunhilde, who had been the antagonist for about 4 pages before spending the novel in chains, goes mad and dashes her brains out. They then carry her mangled body in front of Hubert to make him confess and flagellate him. Then we get a lengthy history of Brunhilde's parents, which comes out of nowhere, and as those persons had almost not even been mentioned before, it doesn't hold one's interest and goes on for too long. Then when Albert is told Hildegard loves a peasant's son, the good Duke pursues them with a sword and would cut Edgar's head off. But don't worry, Edgar is secretly a noble and the real heir of the duchy, so all is good. We successfully avoided poor people marrying into the family. Also, Grimoald is another of several other relatives thought dead that are suddenly revealed, but he being superseded by Edgar in his rights means he is entirely superfluous to everything. I have no idea why he was here, beyond being a parody of a knight from a chivalrous romance. He never even avenges anything. Sadly, the pages and pages of exposition at the end kill all the flow the novel had.